2.17% of total U.S. population. 2020 enlarged population. American Jews or Jewish Americans are Americans who are Jews, whether by religion, ethnicity, culture, or nationality. Today the Jewish community in the United States consists primarily of Ashkenazi Jews, who descend from diaspora Jewish populations of Central and Eastern Europe and comprise about 90 to 95% of the American Jewish population. During the colonial era, prior to the mass immigration of Ashkenazim, Spanish and Portuguese Jews represented the bulk of America's then small Jewish population. And while their descendants are a minority today, they, along with an array of other Jewish communities, represent the remainder of American Jews, including other more recent Sephardi Jews, Mizrahi Jews, Beta Israel Ethiopian Jews, various other ethnically Jewish communities, as well as a smaller number of converts to Judaism. The American Jewish community manifests a wide range of Jewish cultural traditions, encompassing the full spectrum of Jewish religious observance. Depending on religious definitions and varying population data, the United States has the largest or second largest Jewish community in the world, after Israel. In 2012, the American Jewish population was estimated at between 7.1 million and 10 million, depending on the definition of the term, which constitutes between 1.7% and 2.6% of the total U.S. population. Jews were present in the 13 colonies since the mid-17th century. However, they were small in number, with at most 200 to 300 having arrived by 1700. Those early arrivals were mostly Sephardi Jewish immigrants of Western Sephardic ancestry, but by 1720 Ashkenazi Jews from diaspora communities in Central and Eastern Europe predominated. The English Plantation Act 1740 for the first time permitted Jews to become British citizens and emigrate to the colonies, despite some being denied the ability to vote or hold office in local jurisdictions. Sephardi Jews became active in community affairs in the 1790s, after achieving political equality in the 5 states where they were most numerous. Until about 1830, Charleston, South Carolina had more Jews than anywhere else in North America. Large-scale Jewish immigration commenced in the 19th century, when, by mid-century, many German Jews had arrived, migrating to the United States in large numbers due to anti-Semitic laws and restrictions in their countries of birth. They primarily became merchants and shop owners. Gradually early Jewish arrivals from the East Coast would travel westward, and in the fall of 1819 the first Jewish religious services west of the Appalachian Range were conducted during the high holidays in Cincinnati, the oldest Jewish community in the Midwest. Gradually the Cincinnati Jewish community would adopt novel practices under the leadership Rabbi Isaac Meir Weiss, the father of Reform Judaism in the United States, such as the inclusion of women in minyan. A large community grew in the region with the arrival of German and Lithuanian Jews in the latter half of the 1800s, leading to the establishment of Manischewitz, one of the largest producers of American kosher products now based in New Jersey, and the oldest continuously published Jewish newspaper in the United States, and second oldest continuous published in the world. The American Israelite, established in 1854 and still extant in Cincinnati. By 1880 there were approximately 250,000 Jews in the United States, many of them being the educated, and largely secular, German Jews. Although a minority population of the older Sephardi Jewish families remained influential. Jewish migration to the United States increased dramatically in the early 1880s. As a result of persecution and economic difficulties in parts of Eastern Europe. Most of these new immigrants were Yiddish-speaking Ashkenazi Jews, most of whom arrived from poor diaspora communities of the Russian Empire and the Pale of Settlement, located in modern-day Poland, Lithuania, Belarus, Ukraine and Moldova. During the same period, great numbers of Ashkenazi Jews also arrived from Galicia, at that time the most impoverished region of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, with a heavy Jewish urban population, driven out mainly by economic reasons. Many Jews also emigrated from Romania. Over 2 million Jews landed between the late 19th century and 1924. When the Immigration Act of 1924 restricted immigration, most settled in the New York metropolitan area, establishing the world's major concentrations of Jewish population. In 1915, the circulation of the daily Yiddish newspapers was 500,000 in New York City alone, and 600,000 nationally. In addition, thousands more subscribed to the numerous weekly papers in the many magazines. At the beginning of the 20th century, these newly arrived Jews built support networks consisting of many small synagogues and Landsmannschaften for Jews from the same town or village. American Jewish writers of the time urged assimilation and